Is that Peter Griffin? Game Boy! Game Boy! You. Yes, you. You probably had a Game Boy. I have a healthy number of Game Boys. If this is you, and you don't know what a Game Boy is, you're dead to me. The Game Boy is an important piece of handheld hardware that gave you this, 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 and this. Well, not really technically, but pretend like it was so I can sound cool. On the 21st of April, 1989, the Game Boy was released in Japan and later in North America and Europe, all fine and dandy. Releasing with a game that will live forever and ever in our hearts, getting many revisions in the future till this day. Tennis! What did you think? You know, if you know the Game Boy, then you should know Tetris. And if you know Tetris, then you probably know the Magnavox Odyssey. No, come on, please pay attention. A shout out to my fellow kids out there who don't know what old games are. Let me put this in a language that you can understand. The ball blocks go down and you stack them up and you get V-Bucks. Epically. The Game Boy didn't only have Tetris, it also had like, Mario and tennis! Oh yeah, Kirby. Kirby. Kerboid is a game where you commit mass genocide because King DDD stole the magic castle. So then Kerbit has to inflate and make the castle into the battle bus. And then after that, he tells you to press these buttons if you're not an absolute nerd. Yeah, you won't. Well, I guess Game Boy's dead now. I guess we can all now go play the Mega Duck. It's got like 45 games, yeah? That's pretty good. Then in 1996, Pokemon came out and took the world by storm. Pokemon would become more known for the Game Boy game than it would for the card game, especially outside of Japan. So you can thank this for this. Oh, for God's sake. This is getting boring. No, Nintendo, you can't just make it in different colors and call it brand new. And no, you can't just make it into a different size and call it an all-new Game Boy Game Boy Pocket. Wow! It's so much different than the original Game Boy! The Game Boy Pocket is actually a nice little thing. Especially the screen not being puke green. And now, only running with 2 batteries. And then everyone said, okay, Nintendo, there is literally nothing different besides the size. You know, Nintendo, when are we getting that Project Atlantis that you kind of teased us about? Game Boy Light! And we don't care. The Game Boy Color was the biggest stepping stone between the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. And we still don't have a lit screen! Man, history seems to repeat itself. This device, like others, was backwards compatible, as well as having its own games, and also having games that would work on the Color and the original Game Boy, just to make it easier for you guys to follow along. Game Boy Color's library included none other than Pokemon Crystal, Tetris DX, Gex, Yu-Gi-Oh! Gex, Link's Awakening DX, Gex wasn't very special besides the fact that it had color. Hey Nintendo! Are we getting Project Atlantis soon? The Game Boy Advance was sideways and purple. Oh yeah, and then it also had all this stuff too. The Game Boy Advance was basically just about the same as a portable SNES. You could also connect it to your GameCube to play games on the big screen, as well as the Game Boy Advance having the power to play all previous games released on the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And finally, after 12 years, we have something brand new that's not the same Game Boy with nothing really added. Still don't have a backlit screen. Come on, Nintendo! God. 2 years later, Nintendo released the closest thing to Atlantis yet. The Game Boy Advance SP with a clamshell-like design. Oh, I really love the hinge noise. It's like, here, listen. It's really good. I might have been talking about GameCube ASMR. When we get Game Boy Hinge ASMR. It's like the same as the DS and 3DS as well. Game Boy Advance SP had a nice clamshell design and a nice front lit screen. Game Boy Advance SP was the first Game Boy as well to have a rechargeable battery that you could just plug in. Nintendo thought it was so good that they gave us something to be angry about. Let's not put a headphone jack on this thing. And later, on the 101 models that had a backlit screen instead of a frontlit screen, we still didn't get a headphone jack. It's funny how history repeats itself. The last and final iteration that Nintendo made of the Game Boy was the Game Boy Micro. It was so good, in fact, nobody bought it, and it's now worth $200 because the DS came out and was much better. Yep, Nintendo did a smart move by releasing that and the DS in the same year. The Micro also wasn't backwards compatible with other games, and the DS could still play Game Boy Advance games, so I don't understand what Nintendo is trying to sell. Alright, we're done. The Game Boy was dead from there on out, and nobody cares to this day. Things like this are because of the Game Boy. You want to make a Game Boy game? Well, somebody made a software so you could do that now. Can't find an AGS 101 model Game Boy or hate the screen on all the other ones? Well, somebody made a modding kit so you can do that yourself. Also, get subscribed if you want to see some of those things I mentioned in the future on this channel. The Game Boy has been made to even fix your divorce.
Disclaimer: Game Boys aren't responsible for your divorce and cannot fix it. Any claims made by Toaster Chan in this video are incorrect on the Game Boy fixing your divorce. Please do not take these seriously. It's just a joke.
The Game Boy community is massive. The Game Boy is still getting mods and new upgrades to this day. Not quite officially though, but it's fine. The Game Boy was an important piece of handheld hardware that gave you this, and this. I guess the whole takeaway of this video is kids are missing out, and I hate them. And also, you should hit that like button or I will commit the elevent.